Hello. Okay, so today we're going to make pecan pie. It's not so much a recipe for you to for me to teach you. It's more a come bake with me because I've never made it before in my life. Seems pretty simple though. I think the hardest part of it is probably making the sweet short crust pastry. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to make the pastry and it has to chill for like half an hour, and then you need to bake it for a little bit and then chill it raw. So we'll do that first and then we'll make the filling as it's sort of blind baking and whatnot. You'll see all that in a minute. I actually don't have anything else to say, so let's just go make some pastry. Okay, so we're pretty zoomed out, we can almost see everything. This is a weird camera angle when I go to record it. There's nothing I can do, I'm not re-recording it because I think this is going to take forever. Right, so just had a hand tattoo, so what I'm going to do is MJ up and put one glove on because sanitary reasons. I'm going to take my rings off because we need to get our fingers in about this mess. Kind of like what we did with scones. If you watched the scone video, you're basically rubbing it all together. So initially what we're going to need is cold butter. Now I had sort of room temperature butter, so I've stuck mine in the freezer. So you need 75 grams worth of butter and 150 grams worth of plain flour. So we'll do that first. 173. Can we get 2 grams of flour? Yeah, right, okay. So then you get your 75 grams worth of unsalted butter, and it has to be cold. I mean, you really should sort of cube it, but I'm kind of bothered. I'm just going to squeeze it in here. So I've just washed my fingers and my hands and stuff. Again, before I touched the butter, they were also clean. But I had to do it again because I touched the butter and didn't put my fucking MJ glove on, did I? So let's do that. Okay. So much like the scones, all you're doing is put your hand in and rubbing the flour and the butter together until it resembles breadcrumbs. The two other ingredients you will need for this pastry is an egg yolk and icing sugar, but they'll go in after this process. Feels really weird doing this with a glove on, but my tattoo's got to that way where it's kind of itchy, and I just don't want any tattoo scabs in my pastry, you know what I mean? I think it would put a dampener on the taste. Okay, so that's combined and it looks like this. This looks like breadcrumbs. I have successfully shaken breadcrumbs into the cap of my juice.
Ooh. Right, can we imagine?
Goodbye.
Here's a kiss. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Wish me luck.
No.
Fucked up.
No, good luck.
Bye.
Okay, so next you put in 50 grams of icing sugar and mix it around with the stuff that's already in the bowl. And we're going to sieve that as well. Cool, so your 50 grams of icing sugar is in there with your butter and your flour, so all we're going to do now is just mix it around. Just so it's all evenly combined. This is going to be literally the only time you're going to be able to combine it all into the one big mulch anyway. You don't really want to have big clumps of sugar and stuff in your pastry. I know you're going to need the pastry, but it's best to combine this as much as you can. Right, so we're going to add a pinch of salt, just because pastry should always have a wee pinch of salt in it, I think. Plus we used unsalted butter, so it seems kind of pointless. But that's what we're doing, that's who we are. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put our MJ glove back on. We're going to add the egg in, we're going to mix it as well as we can, and then we're going to add water if it's too dry. It's sweet short crust pastry, so it will seem quite dry, but we're going to need it a wee bit and sort of create a sort of disc shape with it. We're going to cling film it up and we're going to stick it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Once it's done, it needs time to rest. So we'll do that now. Just using my spoon now to mix the egg yolk in. My egg yolk wasn't that big, I'd recommend getting like a large egg. I got a medium egg, so the egg yolk was pretty small, so I'm definitely going to have to use some water. And I've just mixed my water with the egg yolk that was left in the jug. Okay, so I'm going to stop using the spoon now and I'm going to get my hands in there. Ideally just one hand because I can't feel anything through the glove. But you're basically just pushing what dough you can make in with the crumbs to try and create a dough. You don't want to add too much water to this, you don't want it to be like a wet pastry, it has to be a sort of dry pastry. So I've been doing that in the bowl and I've managed to gather it up into one big sort of ball. There is obviously little bits here and there, but we'll just stick that in it. Just going to flour my surface really lightly because as we can see the dough is really dry. I'm just going to try and put all the crumbs that I can onto this big lump that I've made. All the wee bits that are falling off, I'm just squishing them back into the dough. So far I'm not really kneading, I'm more just squishing. I'm more just sort of squishing it together to make sure that none of it, we don't waste any of it. Obviously my counters are clean. Before you do this, clean your counters obviously. But yeah, I've been gently kneading it together to sort of squish it, to make sure it's all one big lump. I've successfully made one big sort of dough lump, and all I'm going to do now is basically twist it and shape it. So we're trying to shape it into a disc. A flat disc shape. Like that. See? Simple. So I'll take my MJ glove off now, I'll get some cling film and I'll wrap that bad boy up. Right, so that goes into the fridge for half an hour. I'm going to put a timer on for half an hour because I am impatient and I know for a fact I'll take it out before the half an hour. But while this is in the fridge for half an hour resting, we're going to make the insides of the pie filling. Right, cool, so we've tidied up and we're going to make the filling. But the filling's just going to sit and wait until the pastry's done. What I mean by done is that even though we're making this, we know that our pastry's going to sit in that fridge for half an hour, and then when it comes out of there we're going to put it in its case, and then we're going to prick the case, and then we're probably going to cook it for like 15-20 minutes, and then we're going to take it out, and then we're going to take the beans and stuff out, we're going to cook it for another 15-20 minutes, and then it's going to come back out again, and then once it's cooled, then the fucking pie stuff's going to go in. So it's going to be a while. I mean, it's going to be no time at all for you, but this is going to sit about for a bit. But I'm impatient and I'm going to make this now. The filling consists of tons of sugary, tasty goodness. So what we're going to do first is cream the butter and the sugar together. So let's do that. Got your boy Luff Pack. That's what you want to use. You want to use a really good butter. Basically, if you're making a cake, use all the tastiest ingredients you can. Full fat, all that kind of stuff. Like, If you're going all out, man, go all out. You know what I mean? So it's 75 grams worth of butter, and then it's 100 grams of golden caster sugar, which looks like these. I sound like Steph Toms there. She's a makeup YouTuber, and she always like has a palette and goes, looks like these. Anyway, so you cream these together until they're light and fluffy. So let's do that. Do you like my whisk? It's not mine, it's my grand's. So that is light and fluffy butter and caster sugar. Golden caster sugar. Vanille. Right, so vanilla extract is what I'm using. It's half a teaspoon. Gonna get a shake. Sometimes the good vanilla beans go at the bottom. Golden syrup. It's 175 grams. Which is a fucking lot. And before you say in the comments, oh, you need to get boiling water and put your spoon in it and then it'll come off dead easy and all that, I just can't be bothered. Just can't be bothered. Plus this way, I get to lick the excess on the spoon afterwards. Because I'm what? Disgusting. Right, so whisk that together after you've stopped being a fucking disgusting creep. Cool. And what you should have looks like this. Next we're going to add 175 grams of maple syrup. Now in Asda, where I went and got the ingredients for this, there is 3 different kinds of maple syrup. There was Asda's own, which I don't trust. There was this Clark's one, which is very dark and mysterious, grade A. And then they had a red one, which had like reduced sugar. And I thought, fuck that. So I got this one. I don't know if this is the right one or not. If you're a maple syrup connoisseur, let me know the best maple syrup to use in this kind of thing, but this is what we're going with. This is also 180 millilitres. So I don't know if this is enough. 175 grams of maple syrup. Please be 175 grams. Now, whisk that together. Cool. Then you're left with that. Gonna get my spatula and just scrape the sides down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 eggs. We're going to add them one at a time, which is a pain because we need to wash our hands in between because you don't want to touch eggs and then touch anything else. That's 3. Okay, so that's done. You no longer need your whisk and you're left with what kind of looks like really thick coffee and just smells like sugar. So you're left with that kind of consistency, really runny. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put in our pecans. So you need 300 grams of pecan halves. What I've done is I've got my tart tin and I've decorated the empty tin with halves so like I'm pretending to decorate the top of my pie so I can tell how much halves I need to keep by. What I've done is I've picked out all the sort of nice looking ones. Do you get nice looking pecans? I don't know, but I've picked out all the nice ones and I've got like a wee handful so I can decorate, and then the rest I obliterated. I basically chopped into dust. But I think I went OTT. I think you just need to roughly chop them. So that mix is sitting waiting to go in the pie. pie mix, or actual pastry, has 6 minutes left in the fridge. So I'm going to tidy up my kitchen, wash my hands again, clean all my counters, and then we'll get ready to do the pastry. And then once that's done, we'll put the pie in. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your auntie. Fine, it's all good, it's all good. I have high hopes for this thing I've never made before. I'm sure it will be edible. What else can you ask for, really? Right, cool, so we've tidied, everything's ready to go for this pastry. The alarm's going off, so the pastry's been in the fridge for half an hour now. The pastry is, what's the word for it? Temperamental. It's shite. Basically, you need to keep it cold, so you can't handle it too much. So you need to work really fast. So we're going to take it out, we're going to roll it like fuck, we're going to make sure it fits into our case, and we're going to put it back in the freezers to chill out. Why did I say that? We're going to put it back in the freezer to be cold again. Can't think of anything else that's less shite to say. So let's run through that now. So we're going to get our plain flour and we're going to flour our surface. So this is our mix we're going to put to the side now to give us more room in our tiny fucking kitchen. The dough is out the fridge. So we're going to grab our flour with our clean hands and dust the counter. And then we're going to put a little bit more in here just to dust the top. Stick your hands in your flour, or get some flour in your hands, and also dust your rolling pin. Right, let's do this. Let's do this. Now, if you can get your hands on this kind of pastry, on short crust pastry in the shops, do that. 100 easier. Right, so we're basically rolling this out and turning it constantly, so we keep the kind of circle shape. Now, I've already mentioned this dough is shit, so it will start to break. Don't panic. What's going to happen is we're going to fill in the holes with the pastry that does break, because we're not chefs, we're not professionals, we're just doing our best here, and our best is patchwork pastry, and I support that. Oh, it's looking like an island more than anything. See if I can put it over here a wee bit so you can see it. So you can see mine's is like all coming away here and all that, but do you know what? Honestly, worse things have happened to see. Now, if you were to watch a professional video on this, they would show you how they would like fold it over the rolling pin and fold it over their case. You can see from my pastry that's not going to happen, and that's okay. You should never ever ever compare what you do to other people. Is this video going to make it into like Tasty, perhaps? The online publication that does a lot of cooking and stuff? I mean, no. But that is what it is. That's as evenly rolled out as I can do the now. We'll grab our pastry dish. It's more than enough to fill that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do our best to try and grab it and pull it over. Again, I've already mentioned, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I can feel this breaking already, and it's okay. What used to happen with me a lot was I used to freak out. I've like no patience, right? So I used to freak out and be like, I can't do this, it's breaking, blah blah. Just because you've no patience and because something isn't working the way that it would online doesn't mean you can't do it. So I'm a wee bit out of shot, so I'll show you what I've just done there. I've just rolled it over the rolling pin, rolled it in the tin, and you can see it's not the best, but we're going to patch it, and I'm going to zoom you in to show you how we're going to patch it. We've obviously got all these wee bits that are just crumbling away, and that's fine. So we'll put all the wee bits that have crumbled away to the side, because they're going to be our cement to patch it. Now, the reason I'm doing it this way and showing you this is because a lot of people don't want to bake because it's too complicated, or they don't know how to do it, or they feel like they don't know how to do it, and they feel like it's too much. Everything they do goes wrong or whatever, right? And I get that. I really do get that. But I'm here to show you that it doesn't matter. Like, even if you feel like you can't do it, you fucking can. You absolutely can. So look, all I'm doing is just grabbing bits, sort of mulching it in with the pastry that's there, and just filling those gaps. So there's a wee gap here, and we're just going to fill it in. Let's grab a better bit than that. Yeah, that looks like a good bit. This is an exercise in patience for me as well, because like there's a very impatient person inside of me screaming, going, "Fuck it, just leave it, don't do it. It's not worth it." Like, but it's very rewarding when it comes out and it's all done. Honestly, if you've never made pastries or pies or anything before, then I recommend this. If you're one of those freaks that finds stuff like this therapeutic, then you will also enjoy this. But I am not that kind of person. I am not blessed with patience at all. I actually have Bronson. My god, man. Nightmare of a dog. Nightmare. I actually have the words patience tattooed to my toes because I'm just lacking in patience so hard. So now, if this seems like a tedious task to you and you're thinking, nah, I can't even be bothered doing that, that's fine. Buy ShopBot and you won't even need to do this. This is just in case you feel like to make your own pastry and then this happens and you think, I'm out, bro, I'm done. This is what you would do in that instance. Now remember, no one's going to see the inside of the pie as well. They're going to see the outside, fair enough, which they might see some of the cracks and stuff that's been done. But I mean, I really doubt that by one slice they're going to notice that you patched a full pie. Do you know what I mean? So this is where I am. It looks mental inside because it's all patchwork, but it's a full pastry crust, and that's what you're looking for. It's an exercise in patience. It's definitely worth it, man. You can do it, and I believe in you. Anyway, enough of that shite. What we're going to do now is take a fork and prick the base. So now that we've pricked the base, we've patched up all the sides and whatnot, and it kind of looks like a Frankenstein, but it's going to be delicious. We're going to put this in the freezer now for 15 minutes. Cover it before you put it in the freezer. Cover it with cling film, like so. So now what we're going to do is clean this mess and come back in 15 minutes. Okay, so 15 minutes has passed. It came out of the freezer. It still looks the same, it's just really cold. What we're going to do now is line the base of the pie with parchment paper and bacon beans and bake it for 15 minutes. So your oven should be preheated to 190 degrees or 170 degrees if you've got a fan oven, like I do, and that's gas mark 5. So to line it, the best way I've found is cut a bit of paper, scrunch it up into a ball, and then when you pull it out, it should be more malleable. So I'll move the camera and you can see what I'm going to do. So all we're going to do now is flatten out the sheet and line it with beans. These are bacon beans. Now the reason we're doing this is so the pastry doesn't puff up. This weighs the pastry down. Right, so you should be left with that. So we're now going to put this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so my pie crust has came out of the freezer, went into the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. All we're going to do now is take the beans out, give it an egg wash and put it back into the oven for another like 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll show you me doing that now. baking beans in the tub again. And what I've done is I've whisked an egg in this bowl. And I'm just going to wash the inside of this with egg just to seal it. If I can get the edges, then it means I can get a nice gloss on my crust as well. Now I got this brush today and I got it for £1, so very inexpensive but very useful when it comes to this kind of thing. Okay, so that is evenly coated, so I'm going to put it back in the oven now for 5 to 10 minutes. So our pie case is in the oven now for another 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes anyway, until it's nice and golden brown. It comes out and then it has to cool down. Once the pastry is fully cooled, then we can put our filling in and then we can put our pie in the oven. So I'll come back to you when we're ready to fill the pastry case. Let there be light. Oh fuck me. It's now out of the oven. It has to cool down now before we put the filling in and then put it back into the oven for the final time. Previously your oven would have been at 180 degrees, 170 for fan and a gas mark 5. Now what you need to do is put the temperature up. You have to put it up to 200 degrees, 190 if you're using a fan oven, and gas mark 6. So I've just done that now. So that should heat up to that temperature, and by the time that's cool, that'll be fully heated up, and then we'll put the mixture in to the pie case and then we'll put it in the oven. But I'll show you what the pie case looks like just now. So this is my golden brown pie case. This is my disgusting dog. This is my precious prince. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so my case has fully cooled down. There's no heat in it whatsoever, and this is what it looks like currently. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pour the filling into it. We're going to arrange the nuts that we kept to the side on top, and then we're going to put it in the oven. Now I've put it on a baking tray because this mixture is very liquidy and it's easier for me to transfer it on a baking tray than it is just by hand. Now somehow the recipe I followed has asked for this amount of stuff, but I still have all this left, so fuck knows, but whatever. Anyway, here are the nuts that we left over, so let's start arranging that. The recipe I followed absolutely asks for a 23-inch tin. I've got a 24-inch tin right now, so I mean that should have been more than enough. Like it's too much, so fuck knows what happened there. Now I didn't want to take too many pecans out of the actual mix because I feel like it needed it in the filling, so I've only decorated it a little bit. Most people would decorate all the way around, all the nuts touching all the way around. I think if you want to do that, I would probably recommend getting more than 300 grams of pecans, but this is where we're at just now. I'm going to stick this in the oven just now, so it goes in for 10 minutes at the temperature I told you earlier on, which is 200 degrees, 180 degrees fan or gas mark 6. So it goes in at that temperature just now for 10 minutes, then you'll turn the temperature down to 160 degrees, 140 degrees if you're using a fan, and gas mark 3. Then you'll cook it for 30 minutes. So we'll do that now. To be careful because it's very wobbly. Hello again. So it's been 30 minutes. Pecan pie is now out of the oven and it's just sitting cooling. That's all. I'm going to leave it in its tin and on the baking tray. I'm going to leave it until it's fully cool, but not even a tiny bit of heat inside of it, then it can be removed from the tin and then enjoyed. People eat it with ice cream, people eat it with whipped cream, all that kind of good shit. I'll show you just now what a pecan pie looks like. Now, I had a wee check on it when it was cooking, and it started to catch, the pastry started to catch, so it started to burn, and I had to make a wee tinfoil hat for it. So I basically got a sheet of tinfoil and placed it over the pie so that the crust wouldn't burn any further, the top wouldn't burn any further, and it would just cook inside. This is the first time I ever made this. I think personally it is a little bit on the dark side. I think that maybe because of the maple syrup that I used was very, very black, so it made the actual insides very, very black. But I'm not stupid, there's definite burnt bits, but I'll show you them now. So this is me pie. Now what I probably should have done is turned it halfway through cooking. This bit here is not as dark as here, and you can see that there's a little catch there, a definite catch there, and it's caught here, but again that's probably from not turning it halfway through cooking. The dark bits that I was talking about was actually the pie itself is a bit dark, but that might be normal, it might be the maple syrup. But this is the pecan pie, first time ever trying it. So next time what I think I would do is buy more pecans, because these ones I would like more to decorate with. I think what I would do is probably make a much bigger one, make a much bigger tart. This is a 23-inch tart case, or 24-inch tart case, sorry. So I'd probably get maybe like a 26 or 28, because I think the mixture that I made would fit that. You cook for 40 minutes. Maybe cover it a little bit faster. There's probably a few things I would do differently, but at the end of the day, it's the first time trying it. I'm quite happy with the results, and yeah, I'm sure Marcus will eat it regardless. So thank you for coming to see me try and make pecan pie. I would say that it wasn't a full fail, not like the fudge, but I would say that it was maybe a 7 out of 10. It's a little bit burnt. For some reason the recipe I followed, the ingredients didn't fit in the size case and for the amount of pastry I asked for, and I didn't turn it halfway through cooking, but it's trial and error. So next time I make a pie or a tart, I'll know to do all those things, and next time I make a pecan pie, it'll be maybe an 8.5, 9 possibly. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to see pictures of my dogs, daily life and tattoos and stuff, follow my Instagram. If you want to talk to me and just hang out and stuff, I'm on Twitter, and if you want to support me in any way, shape or form, I have a Patreon. So thanks again for coming and watching me try to make something I've made before. If you are from the USA or Canada or any country that seems to make these quite a lot and they're very patriotic about it, tell me what I did wrong. School me on it, and actually send me your recipes, because if you have a recipe that you think is like everything, it is like the be all end all pecan pie recipe, I want it and I want to try it. That goes with anything. If you guys are on Twitter and you have me on Twitter and you have a recipe that you just think is the fucking best thing ever and it means tons to you, whatever, send them my way. I would love to try that stuff. It makes me so happy to be able to make something that other people really like that's the whole reason I bake. Marcus went to Texas and he absolutely loved the pecan pie there, so that made me want to try to make that. I did a poll on Twitter of what kind of pie, like pumpkin pie, treacle tart or pecan pie, and even he voted for pecan, and he's coming home from Magic Good Night and he's desperate to try this. So things like that really make me happy, and that's why I do it. So if you've got recipes you want me to try, please send them my way. I would love to try them. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you later. Bye! So you can't really notice any of the patchwork that we did in the pastry, and I wanted you to see that. It's not that important. I mean, there's a little bit there, but honestly, who gives a fuck? It's just pastry. But for all the patchworking we did, it doesn't look half bad. Hello? Hello? Hello, my baby. Oh, you're jealous. Oh, you're jealous. Oh, you're jealous.